Hello readers, I welcome you on my YouTube channel Pick a Book. Today I'm going to review a book named Inferno, which is written by Dan Brown. The book revolves around Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy, or more specifically, the Inferno or Hell's Journey to the Divine Comedy. So without further ado, let's begin with a summary. Harvard professor Robert Langdon wakes up in a hospital in Florence, Italy, with a head wound and no memory of the last few days. Doctor Sienna Brooks, one of the doctors tending to him, reveals that he is suffering from amnesia. When Vayantha, a female assassin, shows up in the hospital and kills Dr. Marconi, who was helping Dr. Brooks in attending Professor Langdon. Dr. Brooks helps Langdon escape and they flee to her apartment. After Sienna recounts the details of his admission to the hospital, Langdon finds a cylinder with a biohazard sign in his jacket and decides to call the US consulate. He is told that they are searching for him and want his location. Per Brooks' guidance, he gives them a location across the street from her apartment to avoid getting Brooks more involved in this mysterious situation than she already was in. Soon, Langdon sees Vayantha pull up to the location he gave to the consulate. At this point, they both believe that the US government wants to kill Langdon. He then decides to open the container and finds a small medieval bone cylinder fitted with biotech projector that displays a modified version of Botticelli's map of hell, which is based on Dante's Inferno. A trail of clues leads them towards the old city of Florence. However, they are dismayed to find that a secretive team of soldiers and the Florentine Carabinieri, one kind of a special task force, are also searching for them. They flee into a construction site near the Baboli Gardens, where he examines the map of hell, again noticing several subtle changes to the layers. Langdon discovers a phrase from the painting The Battle of Marciano by Vasari, located in the Palazzo Vecchio. They manage to evade the soldiers and get into the old city using the Vasari corridor. At the palazzo, a custodian sees Langdon snooping around and gets the director of the museum, Marta Alvarez. Alvarez recognizes him, having met him and Ignacio Buseni, the director of Il Duomo, the previous night. She leads them up a set of stairs by the Battle of Marciano, and Langdon realizes the top of the stairs is on the same level as the words Cerca Trova in the Battle of Marciano, pointing. Alvarez tells him that she saw them Dante's death mask the previous night, which sits in a room down the hall from the Battle of Marciano painting. He realizes he is retracing his own steps from the previous night, but to his great astonishment, the mask has disappeared. Finding the mask gone, security footage shows Langdon and Busoni stealing the mask. Fleeing the guards, they listen to a message Busoni left telling him where the mask is, hidden, referring to Paradiso 25. Langdon and Sienna escape the guards, but the soldiers arrive. They cross the attic over the apotheosis of Cosimo I, where Sienna accidentally pushes Vayantha to her death. Langdon connects the phrase Paradiso 25 to the Florence Baptistry, where they find the Dante mask along with the riddle from its current owner, a billionaire genetist named Petron Zobrist. Sienna explains that Zobrist was a geneticist who advocated the halting of humanity's growth due to its own out-of-control population, and that he was working on the means to do so using an engineered disease. A man named Jonathan Ferris, with a large bruise on his chest, which he hides from the two, and a severe rash on his face, claiming to be from the World Health Organization, comes and helps them escape the soldiers. They follow the riddle to Venice, where Ferris suddenly falls unconscious, with Sienna claiming he is suffering from massive internal bleeding, causing Langdon to suspect Ferris has been affected by Zobrist's plague. Soon after, Langdon is captured by a group of black-clad soldiers while Sienna manages to escape. Langdon is taken to Dr. Elizabeth Sinsky, the Director General of the WHO, and is given an explanation of what is going on. Zobrist, who committed suicide the week before, was a brilliant geneticist and a Dante fanatic who had supposedly developed a new biological plague that will cause infertility to one-third of the world's population in order to quickly solve the world's population impending overpopulation, citing the doomsday argument. Dr. Sinsky is raided Zobrist's safe deposit box and found the cylinder, after which she approached Professor Langdon and asked him for his help to solve the riddle. She flew him to Florence to follow the clues. However, he stopped communicating with Sinsky after meeting with Alvarez and Ignacio, and the WHO feared that Langdon betrayed them and was working with Zobrist to unleash the plague. The soldiers were the WHO's emergency response team and never meant to kill him, which he suspected in the beginning. Zobrist has paid a shadowy consulting group called the Consortium to protect the cylinder until a certain date. He also left a disturbing video filled with Dante imagery, which also showed a picture of the plague itself, kept in a hidden underwater location within a slowly dissolving bag. The video claims that the world will be changed the following morning. When Sinsky took it away, they abducted Langdon and staged every event up to this point so that he would be motivated to solve it. The leader of the consortium, having become aware of the bioterrorism plot, agrees to cooperate with the WHO. Ferris's rash was due to an allergic reaction to the spirit gun he used as part of the disguise as a Dr. Vedanta murdered. These bruises were because of the squib used to stimulate him being shot in the chest misfired and broke his ribs. He collapsed in Venice because he had been ordered to detain Siena as the provost, consortium head, had allied with Sinsky, with Siena realizing and puncturing him in his damaged ribs. Dr. Sienna Brooks goes rogue, and the consortium realizes that she was a secret supporter and lover of Zobrist. She learned where the plague was being kept after Langdon solved the riddle and acquired a private jet to get to it before everyone else. After watching Zobrist's video, they conclude that the bag containing the plague will be fully resolved by the date that the video specifies and at the location hinted by veteran Zobrist in the video, the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, where Enrico Dandolo is buried. He and the others find the plague is in the cistern, but this team discovers that Siena is already there. The bag that held the plague had already been broken by Siena, presumably spreading through the outer world via visiting tourists. Siena, dressed in a burqa, runs out of the cistern yelling something in Turkish which causes panic among the tourists, who stampede out into the city while Langdon gives chase. Finally, Siena surrenders and it is discovered that she didn't puncture the bag. It was water-soluble and had dissolved 1 week earlier in the cistern waters, meaning that the whole world has already been infected. The date specified in Zobrist's video was the mathematical calculation of when the entire world would be infected. It is also discovered that she was trying to stop the virus herself, but didn't trust the WHO because samples of the virus would certainly find their way into the hands of government performing weapon research. The leader of the consortium tries to escape WHO's custody with the help of disguised underlings, but is caught later by Turkish police. Siena receives amnesty in exchange for working with the WHO to address the crisis, since she is a medical doctor and has extreme knowledge of Zobrist's research and work. The plague that Zobrist created is revealed to be a vector virus that Lanz only activates to employ DNA modification to cause sterility in 1/3 of humans, thereby reducing population growth to a more stable level. Sinsky and Siena decide not to try to reverse Zobrist's actions. Siena pointing out that doing so would be difficult and hazardous even for someone like Zobrist, and Sinsky acknowledging that Zobrist had a point about the dangers of overpopulation. With the summary out of the way, I'd like to brief you about the characters in the book. Robert Langdon, an American professor of symbology at Harvard University, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Siena Brooks, a doctor and Zobrist's former lover who works for the consortium. She helps Langdon find the virus Zobrist created, but her past relationship with Zobrist makes her loyalty to Langdon suspicious until the end of the novel. She was a loyal disciple of Zobrist until she reads his last letter and decides to get his new technology before it can fall into the wrong hands. She believes the World Health Organization will cooperate with other government agencies to use Zobrist's new virus for weapons. She uses the consortium and Langdon to follow the map of hell and get to ground zero before everyone else, but realizes that Zobrist had set off a futile search as he realized his virus well beforehand. veteran Zobrist, a transhumanist genius scientist who is obsessed with Dante's Inferno and a primary antagonist of titular novel. He is intent on solving the world's overpopulation problem by releasing a virus. Elizabeth Sinsky, the head of the World Health Organization, who hires Langdon to find Zobrist's virus. She became infertile after taking steroids to help with her childhood asthma attacks, and as such is emotionally invested in Zobrist's method of controlling world population. Christopher Bruder, head of the SRS team, part of the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control, who is ordered by Sinsky to find Langdon after she loses contact with him. The provost, the head of the consortium, he tries to bring to fruition Zobrist's wishes by securing the location of the virus from Langdon and Sinsky and scheduling to release to the media a video Zobrist made before his death. When he learns that he was helping Zobrist in a bioterrorist attack, he helps the World Health Organization to search for the weapon. He is eventually arrested for his part in the events. Vayantha, the consortium's agent in Florence, who has orders to follow Langdon but is later disavowed after failing her mission. She fails to her death after a confrontation with Langdon and Brooks in the Palazzo Vecchio. Jonathan Ferris, an agent of the consortium who pretends to be in league with the WHO. He used fake eyebrows and a mustache to act as Dr. Marconi in the beginning of the novel. Marta Alvarez, an employee of the Palazzo Vecchio in Florence who assists Langdon with Dante's death mask. She's pregnant with her first child. Ignazio Busoni, the obese director of Il Duomo in Florence, nicknamed Il Duomino, who assists Langdon with Dante's death mask. He succumbs to a heart attack prior to the events of the novel. Ettore Vio, the curator of St. Mark's Basilica in Venice. Mirsat, a tour guide of Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. Personally, I feel this novel is an epic of 20th century. Movie Inferno was released in 2016, where Tom Hanks played the role of Robert Langdon and Felicity Jones did the character of Sienna Brooks. This book can say is a tribute to Dante Alighieri. I hope you liked the video. If you wish to hear my review on other particular book, do write in the comment section and please like, share and subscribe my channel for more such interesting reviews.